In today's world, we have streaming sticks everywhere. We have the Amazon Fire Stick, the Roku streaming sticks, even On got in on the streaming stick action as well. But today we're going to take a look at the Google Chromecast, more specifically the full HD version. This is the full review 2 years out. But before I get into the review, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and then share it with all your friends and family. Then press the notification bell so that this way you are the first to know when I upload it. Finally, if you want emotes, special content, channel badges, be sure to become a member. That costs $3 a month at the lowest tier if you want to do that. Now it's time to get on to the review. So let's start off with the design. Now the Chromecast has a white color coating to it. It also has a cable that goes from the main Chromecast straight to the HDMI. Now, what I honestly like about this is that you don't have to unplug anything else to maneuver around other HDMI connections in order to plug this into your television. This is great if you have a TV where the HDMI connectors are all packed together and it becomes more difficult to plug in other things. So this is a very good design choice by Google. It also has a USB Type-C connector. Of course, out of the box you get the USB-A to USB-C cable. You can also plug in a USB-C to USB-C cable as well. But one of the main benefits of having USB-C as a connector is that you can plug in a lot of extra peripherals like a keyboard, a mouse, and many other things using a connector dongle. This feature is great, especially if you keep all your movies and TV shows and other things on SD cards or even external memory cards as well. Now this is the full HD version, and that means that you're only going to get a 1080p output for your picture no matter what television you have. You can have a 4K television, you can have an 8K television. You're only going to get it to scale up to 1080p, which still isn't bad. You still get a very good picture with minimal dropped frames. As you can see here, I'm watching a YouTube video and I didn't get any dropped frames whatsoever. There was no stutters, nothing. The video just played smoothly and I'm able to watch it all the way till the end if I really wanted to. Of course, this is not the first Chromecast that has Google TV. That was the 4K version that came out 2 years earlier. But this is the first Chromecast with full HD that does run full Google TV, and it runs it very smoothly as I am able to go through all the software very smoothly with no hiccups and no stutters. Of course, it runs Android 12 with the April security patch as of the recording of this video. Now, what I like about Google TV are the recommendations. They pull recommendations from just about every app that you have enabled. There are a ton of apps that you can have Google TV recommend content to you from, and plenty of other apps that you could see right here as well. Of course, there are plenty of times when the Chromecast recommends me content from YouTube that I can watch on my TV, but most of the time I can't. So what I do is I watch it for a few seconds on my TV, and then I will go into my history on the YouTube app, and I'm able to watch it there on my phone. And that is all thanks to the watch history, of course, on the YouTube app, and of course thanks to the recommendations that the Google TV software will recommend to me. You can also play games on here as well. Here you see me playing Crossy Roads, and I'm able to control it with the Chromecast remote despite the warning that I need a gamepad in order to even play this game. So once I'm able to get past that prompt, then I'm able to just simply use the Chromecast remote as my game controller. Now the specs are pretty good. It has an AM Logic 805X2 CPU, 1.5 gigs of RAM, and 8 gigabytes of onboard storage. So you could store your games, apps, shows, movies, and whatever else that you want to store on this. However, if you have a bunch of movies that take up a lot of storage, you might want to get an external dongle with an SD card, because let's face it, if you have a bunch of movies that you want to download, you're going to want to have much more storage than 8 gigabytes. But with all that said, the specs are very sufficient enough for basic usage. The hardware really does a great job of carrying the software. As I mentioned earlier in the video, the Chromecast runs Android 12. It has very basic software. You get recommendations that come from various apps such as YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, and other streaming apps that you have downloaded. Also, the recommendations are categorized into different genres, so you won't have to go into any apps to find the content. It will be all right there for you. The recommendations are also based on what you have watched in the past. So for example, if I watched true crime shows, it'll recommend to me other true crime shows. If I watch, let's say, Avengers Endgame on Disney Plus or something like that, then it will recommend me other superhero movies such as Spider-Man or even Captain America the Winter Soldier and movies like that. Now, another one of my favorite features that Google TV has is the live TV feature. Now, I love this feature because it has a ton of channels that are organized into different genres so that this way I could find whatever I want to watch. Now, for me, I always watch Reels TV whenever I'm watching live TV. So that's generally down in the true crime area, but it's a great feature that is there, and it's great if you don't have any cable and you just want to find just anything to watch. With all that said, you have to be able to control the software somehow, and you can do that with the Chromecast remote. Now, this remote is a white pill that feels so good to hold. It has a very plastic finish to it that fits right in the hand. On top of the remote is the IR blaster. Now, this does pair up via Bluetooth, but the IR blaster is mainly for controlling the television and for whatever other peripherals you have. Of course, you can turn on or off your TV with just your voice if you have an Android phone or if you have any speakers that have the Google Assistant on it. Turn off my TV, please. Turn on my TV, please. The remote has the play pause button on top that is surrounded by the round directional buttons. Now press the left side to rewind, press the right to go forward, and press the top or the bottom to go up and down respectively. Also, you do sometimes have to search for things. Now you can type it in using the remote pad and the directional buttons with the virtual keyboard on the software side, but it's much easier pressing a black button known as the Google Assistant button. Now you press and hold that button to do a voice search, and you will be able to search for just about anything you want. You also have the rest of the buttons. Now you have the back button, the home, mute, Netflix, YouTube, power, and source buttons. Now this remote has only 2 app buttons. That is not a big deal per se, but other streaming sticks have 4 app buttons that you can choose for instant access to those apps. Now, the remote's main job is to control the software, and it does a very good job of doing that. As you can see, I'm able to go up and down very smooth, and that's of course a credit to the software that is on the Google Chromecast itself. Now, streaming content from YouTube and other streaming services is very smooth. But one of the main problems that I run into is with casting. Now, you can cast your content from apps from your phone to the Chromecast and watch it on your TV. But the main problem is the live TV content, especially when it comes to watching sports. Just like I had with the On Streaming Stick when I reviewed it, it froze up when I watched my hockey games. It also has an overheating problem while casting. This is something that Google really needs to figure out with its TV streaming sticks. So here's my final thought. The Chromecast is a very good device. It opens up a world of streaming to those who don't have a smart TV and offers a better software experience than what you would get from a cheap smart TV. However, is it the best value? The answer to me is no. That's simply because you could get the same experience from the On Full HD streaming stick at literally half the price of the Google Chromecast, and it offers all of the same features except for the extra peripherals that you could plug in via USB Type-C, because the On Full HD streaming stick does not have USB Type-C. If USB Type-C is a big deal for you, then yes, get the Google Chromecast. If not, I would stick with the ON Full HD streaming stick, but that's just me personally. Anyway, that's it for this review. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment down below what you liked, what you didn't like. I read all the comments. I heart all the comments. Anyway, I will see you in the next one. See ya. Bye-bye.